Lions fans, what up, though?
What up, though?
What up?
Welcome to Season 1, Episode 21 of the Lions Maine podcast. On this week's episode, we preview the Lions-Packers matchup. As always, thank you for your support, and you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube at Lions Maine Podcast.
This is the Lions Maine podcast.
Is there any team you hate more? Is
No.
there any team you hate more? You're a little
No.
animated, George. Jim, come on.
FTP, baby. FTP.
Jim, you look like fucking Elon Musk's AI robot over there. Come on.
Yeah, no, fuck the Packers, first of all. I think only team in my heart that I dislike as much is Kane's favorite team, the Wolverines. But the Packers, I mean, hellacious bastards, pieces of trash, glorified toilet over there in Green Bay. They call Lambeau Field this iconic field. Bleachers? Field.
No, yeah. I know you hate those guys, but I know with the way you flip teams, it's I'm just gonna be talking shit, but with the way you flip teams, I thought you might have flipped to like the Chicago Bears or something at this point. You know what team you were a fan of growing up? You know what team you were a fan of growing up? You know what team?
Go to college, buddy. Oh,
No.
North Park doesn't have an athletic program. Don't get me started. You don't even have. And the
We
Air
do,
Force
though.
Academy. How about the
They're
Air Force
horrible.
Academy?
I went to the Air Force Academy.
1-6 or whatever the hell they are.
They stink. All right,
Yeah.
They stink.
Yeah,
I support them on the side.
front runners.
On the
But-
side.
Don't get mad, man. Your whole family are Wolverines fans. Is that true or no?
And last Saturday, I texted them all they can go to hell.
Hey.
I know your brother was giving you hell.
Oh, he sure was. Big bastard.
Hey, Kane, could be worse. North Park football program is the losingest program in D3 history. So,
Holy hell! You got to try to do something like that. Do you think that we could all suit up and potentially make that team? D3 losing his team in D3.
Absolutely, we all could. But do you know that JJ McCarthy's dad went to North Park?
Oh shoot! No wonder you like the guy.
Facts.
No wonder you love JJ McCarthy.
Got to be the mom's genes then.
Gotta be.
Not that North Park's bad. I mean, but you just described it as the losing team.
They are bad. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're
No, I meant not a
they're
bad
the worst
football.
they're the worst program in the lowest division of college football.
That's
I think
fascinating.
Jason Brown would have been an All-American there, for those of you who know.
He's an avid supporter of this show. So
Hey, my dad played for that team, so that should do.
Was
He
he
played
starting-
football for them?
starting quarterback?
Yeah. No.
Was he the Salim of their team?
I think he played for a couple of years and they didn't win a game. That'd be my guess. He was definitely
Oh yeah.
yeah.
They're probably
Salim's-
actually going to go ahead.
It's Salim catching strays right now. What the hell?
So, why would this
What the hell was
I
that
was-
for?
I mean, I tried to qualify what his dad potentially could be, and I think we all have an image now of like what that would look like. So I just tried to paint a picture. Okay, I'm not throwing straight. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys.
Damn, now my dad catching strays. What the hell?
Right.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
Don
think it's that
Swanson.
way. Shout out Don. He's my friend on LinkedIn as of today. Shout out Don.
Hey.
All right, moving on. So this is obviously a big week, and as you alluded to, when we did our midseason MVP picks, you also said, Drew, that the NFC North is going to be a slugfest every time we play, and so it feels like every game that we play in the NFC North is going to be a game for the top of the division, and this one right here is winner of this game will be at the top of the division. So, you guys think this one's going to be as tough as Minnesota? You think it's going to come down to the final stretch?
Wow. I mean, I don't think it matters. Let me say it matters who's playing quarterback for the Packers. I will say that.
Right. Well, before we get into, Malik Willis or Jordan Love, but who's playing there, let's talk about the Lions' offensive side of the ball. Drew, I think you wanted to talk about Jared Goff and your expectations for this game.
Absolutely. I got some stats for you. There's some fun stats. So Jared Goff, leading the NFL in completion percentage, 74.1%. Leading the NFL in yards per attempt with 9.0. Passer rating, leading in pass rating of qualified quarterbacks, 115.8, and 5 straight games with it over 100. There's been some crazy records and stuff that he's like. I feel like you can sometimes throw together a bunch of stats and be like he's the first quarterback or first whatever to do this. But Jared Goff is on one of those historic streaks. To put it all into context, in the last 4 games, he's had 10 passing touchdowns and 13 incompletions.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
And most importantly, Lions are 4-0 on that streak.
Right. I mean, I think we all have our faith in Jared Goff, but there seems to be 2 glaring weaknesses going into this game: Taylor Decker and Waymo. What are your thoughts on either one of those?
It's crazy that we're talking about Taylor Decker as a weakness. Honestly, is like George got mad at me on the last pod for jinxing him during our Titans preview.
Right.
But yeah, he did not play well in the last showing. I think he's given up 5 sacks so far this season, which might be like more than he's given up his entire career, which is, you could fact check me on that, but it's been crazy.
Yeah.
So I do definitely think that is a huge matchup to watch. Packers defensive ends have gotten 4.5 sacks on the season,
which is honestly kind of low.
They're starters, at least Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith. I don't know about their backups, but it's nothing. And so I'll be interested to see, like, maybe this is a bounce back game for Taylor Decker.
Right.
But yeah, keeping Jared upright, I think, is a huge key to this game. He's coming in a little hobbled with that ankle injury he had. I think it was like, was it right away? It was in the first quarter, right? It was a sack that Taylor Decker gave up, right?
Yep. It was early in the game. I think it was actually the very first sack.
Yeah.
When Goff, he gave up that sack, but Goff looked horribly unathletic, tried to spin backwards, and like, how do you do a spin move and not move at all? But anyways, he got injured on that play, and that's
so yeah. I mean, he I think like basically the whole offense had a light practice week this week, just trying to get healthy. Obviously, before this huge matchup. So yeah,
I gotta just get it out there and just admit that I was wrong. In the beginning of the season, I said players to look out for this season. I said Rashawn Gary, and I even went as far to say that Rashawn Gary may be better than Aiden Hutchinson. I could never have been more wrong in my life.
I forgot that you said that. We were talking about players better than Aiden, and you had listed Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
No, yeah, but I admit that I'm wrong. I mean, you guys are telling because I have my Wolverine. Love my Wolverines. They're both Wolverines, all right. So get off my back. I mean, anyways, no, I was wrong, and I think he actually lines up on the left. So Penei Sewell is gonna have fun putting him in the dirt this game.
He's played 3 more games than Aiden and has 4.5 less sacks.
That's actually crazy. That actually just might be a testament to how good Aiden is, as opposed to like how poor of a season Rashawn Gary's actually having.
He's not having a great one.
Well,
He's on pace for like 6.5 sacks, which is fine, but not what they're paying him.
If you're my number 1 D end on my team, you're the guy, you're the lineman, you're the D lineman, you're the DN. You got 6.5 sacks. You're not getting paid.
Hey,
you're not getting paid, now, buddy. You're not taking that. You're not getting that check. Fuck out of here. So anyways, yeah. Keeping Goff upright is going to be extremely important, pretty obviously. But
what do you think the Lions offensive keys are?
So my biggest key for the game is, so the Packers their defense isn't a slouch. They're not the Tennessee Titans, and I don't think they're gonna fall for the gimmicky plays that the Lions run. The Lions have a lot. We pound it in, pound it behind the line, do what we do best. But we run a lot of gimmicky ass plays that work against these horrible 2-6 teams. I think genuinely we're gonna need a big game out of our tight ends, like you said with Taylor Decker potentially struggling. We're gonna need a good blocking game out of Laporta and Brock Wright. We're gonna need our running back to step up and pass pro to actually get the ball downfield to who? Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, I know, but like Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson. So keys to the game is owning the offensive line, particularly a big game out of our tight ends. And I mean, the other thing I want to touch on that we're lacking is Waymo being out because of Waymo doing Waymo. Laporta, he's gonna need to have another big game. He had his first game where he had over 3 catches, and that was last game, and he balled out. He had 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. That's why half of our parlay hit. But yeah, that's my key matchup for the game.
Waymo doing Waymo things. What? Gambling, drugs, and guns.
You watch your mouth.
He sounds like a true American to me.
Sounds like a good time.
Actually, yeah.
Sounds like a true American to me, honestly.
Don't tempt me with a good time, JMO.
Right.
How do you guys feel about that with everything that's going on with Waymo right now? I know a lot of people have been upset at him, which is, fair. But what are you guys thinking about that?
I don't care, honestly. I think the law is a law, but it's a stupid law in my opinion. So that's why you gotta never mind.
Right, but there's been Lions fans doing that. We shouldn't re-sign him. We should think about trading him. This is bullshit. It is bullshit.
Fans? I think there was fans that might have been on the show that said something about not re-signing him.
Right. So that's why I asked.
Who's that?
I don't know. His name might rhyme with Mew or Do.
All right. To clarify what I said, I'm a huge JMO fan. I just think that he would demand a big re-signing, and I'm not sure that I've seen like enough to like where I'd want to give him a big contract. And the fact of the matter is that he's missed how many games in 3 years? And the ACL thing is like, that's,
Yeah, he missed quite a few games, but what makes you think he would demand a big contract? He has nothing to substantiate that.
At this rate, right? He's got
nothing. Not even the
it's
yard
working against him, so we should definitely resign him for cheap.
It really depends. Yeah, I who knows what that number is going to be. I think that his view around, like the view of him around the league, is that has like, a lot of potential to be a game breaker in this league. Madden, he's like the top rated speed guy in Madden. And stuff. I mean, that means nothing, but I'm just in a big wait and see. I'm not in a hurry to re-sign him, I guess.
Are you basing your shit off of Madden?
I'm basing my shit. Yeah, hey, I'm a better GM than half these dudes in the league.
Bro, start doing your player prop bets off of Madden. Like that. Hit the simulator and see what the end of game stats are, and bet off of that.
You were about to say something, Jim?
Well, I like that strategy though, Kane. No, I was gonna say I agree with Kane. On another point, I don't know why I hear your point, but I think around the league also there's less confidence in him as a person than Dan Campbell has. Number one. Number two, to your point, he's shown potential, but in the NFL, it's rare that you're going to get a fat bag for potential. You might get a little bit outsized of what you should get, but I think if Amon-Ra got like $30 million a year, I think JMO at most would get 10, 15 million a year from someone else. Which, two things. One, we don't have to do that until after his 5th year. A lot of times you do an extension, free Waymo, but a lot of times you do an extension before the 5th year when you pick up the 5th year rookie. I don't think they need to even do that. I think they can basically tell him, hey, look, we're picking up this deal. We believe in you. Keep playing hard your 4th and 5th season, and we'll give you a good contract. And if he doesn't, if he's either keeps doing stupid shit or if he can't stay healthy, then you just try to sign him for cheap. But I'm not worried about him demanding a bag, and if he does, I think I've misjudged who he is because I don't think he's delusional. I think he makes bad choices at times, but I don't think he's delusional.
That's
yeah,
fair.
I think he's just immature.
Mhm.
Not a bad person, just immature.
Yeah.
Just a goofy ass kid.
But
Before we move up,
I
Go
wouldn't
ahead.
pay him $30 million either, if that or $20 million even if that's the going market right now.
That's where I'm like
Right.
in a huge wait and see. I'm really not anti. I just am not going to rush right now to say we should re-sign him or like we shouldn't. I guess.
right. I agree with
Which
you guys.
which it feels like a lot of the fan base is kind of doing right now. Like that to your guys' point, they're like cut him or
They're
we're not
writing
going to
him off.
resign. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah, and we know a guy now like that named Smeem. His name rhymes with Smeem Parton. I'm not as good as doing that as you, Jim, but
Steam part.
Smeem Parton. Shout out to our friend Dean.
wait the comedian.
Alright.
The comedian.
But you actually didn't know what I was saying,
I
Jim.
had no fucking clue.
Smeem Parton.
I was looking down trying to figure out who the fuck is he talking about.
His name is Dean Martin, so I was like Smeem Parton. I'm not good. I'm not
Wait.
good at that, dude.
Dean Martin,
Just-
comedian.
Just flip the letters. It's the easiest way. Just go
Oh, Mean
Mean
Darton.
Darton. Mean Darton.
Hey, well now I know.
Mean Darton. That's what.
That's actually a cool
That-
name.
that's a
hey,
dumb name.
That's what I'd be. That's what I'd be smoking outside the bar at 2 a.m.
That sounds like a. That sounds like
Mean
a.
Darton.
I'd be mean Darton.
That sounds like the next quarterback of. The next quarterback of Texas A&M.
March Anning, very good.
Right. Anyways, before we move on to the Lions defense, Packers offense, I just want to bring up some of the injuries. It looks like Quay Walker, he had a concussion last week. He did full practice. He is going to play. He is their leading tackler. He does have a problem. He has a maturity problem, especially when playing the Lions. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get out there and rile him up a little bit. Get a few penalties. He's known for that.
Hey, Amon Ra is gonna get into his head.
Oh yeah, I don't know why Amon-Ra gets in defenders' heads so much. He feels so unthreatening to me. Amon-Ra does. He feels so unthreatening, but he gets like in people's heads. It's weird.
I think that's
he's
what
starting to
pisses
become
them
a little
off.
bit of a villain. I think he's becoming a little bit of a villain though. Like he's got the podcast, he got the big contract. Like guys are like kind of like.
You think he's just becoming like annoying, yeah.
Yo, you were cool. Right. Like I feel like you were cool when you were like the 4th round draft pick and could count all the receivers ahead of you, but now that you're like,
Right.
getting the bag and have
Right,
this
right.
publicity, like I feel like people are starting to get pissed off.
Yeah.
Not a diva.
No, I agree with that.
Villain. Not a diva because I think the fans still like him, but I think within the league he's become a little bit of a villain.
He got on the TV show, like he was on, like we've been seeing a lot of Amon-Ra. I'm not complaining, but
Yeah. One of the guys he won't be able to piss off this game is Jair Alexander, a pretty good cornerback. It seemed that at the end of the 4th quarter in the game against Jacksonville, he came down with a non-contact knee injury. I don't know exactly what it was, but he hasn't practiced this week. So I know these injury reports, like you said earlier, George, they don't mean anything until the day of. But those non-contact knee injuries usually are pretty something serious. So hopefully he can't step on the field. Hopefully he heals from his injury next week. But hopefully he doesn't step on the field. So just 2 of the injuries that I want to keep an eye out for as we head into the game.
damn it, Jair really not supposed to play?
Dude, he had like a weird on Evan Ingram's sick ass touchdown where he caught mossed all 3 of them. Jair just like turned around and his knee kind of like you could see it like buckle.
Ooh.
And then he just walked off the field.
Ugh.
Dang.
He saw that touchdown on his fucking head and had to walk off the field. So
Well, that's a
Yeah, maybe
huge
that-
loss for them.
oh
If they
yeah,
don't-
that's
He didn't
That's-
play
hey, that's
against
a
the
golf-
Eagles last year, right?
Hey,
I have to go back and look at that. I don't know about that, Jim.
hey, give me that
No.
golf over. If that's the case.
Yeah, I like that golf over.
Yeah.
All right, but let's
Yeah.
let's move it to the other side of the ball. So, Jim, George, what do you guys have for us? Any things you guys are considering for the Lions defense, Packers offense?
Yeah, me and the D1 eater over here have some good analysis for you. I would say that the Packers offense, there's a lot made about which quarterback's going to play, which is super important. There's a lot made about the receiving core, which is young, talented. Between the tight ends and the receivers, really nice. But the engine that keeps this offense going is Josh Jacobs. He is in big moments when they need him. When Malik Willis is in, they lean on Josh Jacobs. He delivers for them. So to me, that's the biggest key in the game. I think our secondary, obviously there's going to be moments where they get beat. There's going to be moments where they look good. Packers have a lot of good receiving options, no truly great, although Jaden Reed is trending towards that way. And Tucker Kraft is awesome. But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to Josh Jacobs and what we can do against him. The offensive line for the Packers is pretty mediocre. Not awful or anything, but very mediocre, except for, I forget the guy's name, one of their tackles, pretty good rating. But Josh Jacobs has, I can't remember if it's either the third or fourth most broken tackles in the league or yards after. No, it's the most yards after contact in the league, third or fourth, ahead of guys like David Montgomery. And he's got this third or fourth most 10-yard plus rushes. So he's been doing it. He's been hitting the holes. He's been breaking tackles, and ultimately, he's been pounding it in the hole. So if we can stop him, I don't care who's a quarterback, they're going to have a tough day. No, Jordan Love has more ability to do random BS and chuck up shit that sometimes picked off, sometimes just an insane touchdown.
Right.
So, not saying they're out of the game, but if we can limit Josh Jacobs' damage like we did honestly, even though Aaron Jones had an okay game, he didn't have an amazing game. Kenneth Walker's the only running back who's had an awesome game against us. So if we can avoid that, I think their offense is very one-dimensional, especially if Malik Willis is in the game. Go ahead, D1.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying. It really depends on the quarterback, too. I mean, Malik Willis has an arm, but we were talking, Jim, even at the bar this past weekend, does it really matter who's at quarterback? Malik Willis has won them some games. Granted, they were not great teams, but he's undefeated, and he's got an arm. And if they rely on Josh Jacobs, I mean, that's spreading. They could spread it out enough to where he could be successful, which is, sick to think about. Matchup I'm worried about is Jaden Reed and Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold is the fourth worst among all starting cornerbacks per Pro Football Focus. He's got a 47.5 PFF rating, so that's dog shit. And so that that worries me. And then also they like to run the sweeps with Jaden Reed, and we don't have Aiden on the edge anymore. So that's a little nerve wracking, and I could see that happening especially if Willis is playing, doing stuff like that rather than throwing the ball. But caveat, Brian Branch is that motherfucking man, and he's going to fucking put the boom on all those bitches. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about Terrion. I hope he just starts to just trend up. It seems like he kind of has. It's less flags. That's for fucking sure. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's the matchup I'm worried about. And I mean, overall, I do think we can cram their shit at the end of the day, but I'm always thinking that. So
right.
Yeah, for sure. Stick it in there. No, I like one thing you said. Well, two things. One thing I like that you said is, looking at Willis versus Love, he has won some games. The caveat to that, which was your point, is he played against Hogwarts football team and North Park football team and beat them. So it wasn't like he did come in the second half and beat Troy High School by 3 points. So he's had some wins. But I guarantee you, if we have 60 minutes against Malik Willis, he'll have some big plays. But he's going to have his feet over his head in the backfield, wondering what happened to him. Jordan Love is, I think he is like a true second coming of Brett Favre in some ways. I don't know if he'll ever have the peaks, but he has some games where he looks like a 90% Brett Favre. And so I do worry and he also, for some reason, last year ripped us up that second game, just ripped us up. And I don't think he's got a secret sauce, but I would rather play, if I'm being honest, I'd rather play Malik Willis to beat him and then play Jordan Love later in the season, because I want to build that lead early, get it so that the game matters for bragging rights down the road. But for right now, I just want people to, don't you want to beat the best? Not until we get everything locked up, and then give me the best.
Right. Not till we get JMO back and some of these misses. Not till Decker steps it up. Yeah. I feel you on that.
Damn, you rooting for injuries, Jim?
Fuck yeah.
Green Bay injuries for sure. They don't have that many of them, especially on their offensive side of the ball.
The only guys you even have to remotely feel bad about, and sorry for cutting you off, George, is the practice squad guys, or the guys that are on a 1-2 year 6-round rookie. Jordan Love's ass just got paid $40 million. People go, prayers for Jordan. Pray for me.
Yeah.
Green Bay, and he's got making $45 million a year. What the hell? What are we talking about? What are people on social media saying? Pray for him. It's not like he got shot to death, or I mean, do I truly want him to have a career-altering injury? No. Do I want his groin to be sore for 4 weeks? Yes.
Definitely.
What about when people are saying pray for Aiden? How'd you feel about that?
Well, that's different.
Yeah, pray,
right.
Those prayers I want answered.
Right.
That's different. Well, actually, that is different because he did just rip his shit to shreds.
Jim was showing up dressed as Batman to Aiden's hospital room.
Well, I had to go tell him that it's better to break 2 than 1. So.
Yeah. That was wild. No, yeah. So I know we're gonna get into our player prop bets in a few moments here, but I went to go look, and I'm a little pissed because they don't have any of the Packers quarterbacks on there. And the turnovers are gonna, second coming Brett Favre, Jordan Love might throw 3 touchdowns. He also might throw 2 picks. Malik Willis's bad decision, Will Levis-esque ass is gonna be fumbling the ball and throwing picks out there. So
yeah.
I'm a little pissed about that. But I think to your guys' point, if we limit Josh Jacobs might get his, but if he's the only person that does well in that offense, we win.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we have a good run defense. We have good run defense. So I'm not worried. I'm not too worried.
As soon as you start letting Romeo Dobbs and fuck all Wicks, DeMarcus, what's his name? Something Wicks? Who's that guy? Watson?
Dante
Watson. Christian
Watson.
Watson.
My God, bro. You start letting those guys beat your ass, that's hell on earth right there.
They have a decent receiving core. I mean, between Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, they're decent.
What's interesting, though, if you look at it, George, and I bet you saw the same thing, it looks like Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs and then Tucker Kraft are really their big 3. Watson has some big
Kraft.
Yep. Dontavian Wicks has some random plays. Luke Musgrave is not healthy, but when he's healthy, but really it's Jaden Reed, Romeo, I hate my own team, Dobbs, and Tucker Kraft. And I think those 3 guys are really what makes that engine go in the passing game. Because Christian Watson's a nice player, but, he's just another tall, light-skinned guy out there, goes and catches toss-up balls. What do you call that? Jump balls.
Jump balls, yeah.
That's his game.
Now, you guys brought up some good points. So let's move into our player prop bets for the week. I'm trying to get out there and watch this Dodgers-Yankees game. Apparently, the Dodgers just tied it, so come on. It's playoff baseball. The Yankees are up like 5-0.
Wow.
So,
wow.
yeah. Did he put a future on the Dodgers or something?
No. I thought I saw it when it was 5-0. So I was I'm rooting for the Dodgers, but this is the Yankees Dodgers. I want it to go 7 because otherwise it's just a waste of a World Series. It's supposed to be a cool matchup, but
I agree. So let's get into these player prop.
I have a future on the Dodgers. So
there you go.
That's not good. That's not good for the Dodgers.
There you go. Already.
Well, who's up first?
So for the player prop bets this week, the order is Drew, Kane, Jim, then George. I'm still undefeated. So if you hear me say my bet on this podcast, you want to win money, put your mortgage on whatever I say. It's almost a guaranteed lock at this point. So without further ado, Drew, take it away.
So I'm 1-5. And I said to Kane offline that I'm just gonna start fading myself. Everything that I pick, I need to start fading myself. But not so fast, not today. There's a bet that I love out there. And so I'm gonna give it one more go here.
No way.
Listen, it's literally going to be the bet that you had last week. It's going to be Sam Laporta over 3.5.
Oh receptions. My God. He stole my bet, you bastard.
Hey, last time I stole your pick, it didn't hit, though. I stole it.
That is true.
Last time I stole your pick, J-Mo had negative yardage.
That's true.
Yeah, I do love it. I think it's who else is going to catch the ball? Brock Wright?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Penei Sewell.
Dude, So I'm looking at the props right now. There's actually no Packers props, offensive props, rushing, receiving, or passing.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
We'll see if they add any before Sunday. But yeah, I saw it's looking.
Hey, this is gonna make it a little tighter for us. Like picks are about to get stolen.
It was the first pick was definitely juicy here.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that. I wonder where you got that one from. All right. Let's see. Alrighty. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna steal Jim's from last week. I'm gonna go with the Sam Laporta over in yards, 40.5. It's a lock. For all the reasons you just said, Drew, I think it's gonna hit again.
And if you parlay those two together, it's plus 100.
Nice.
So
Ooh.
not
one
terrible.
If one hits, the other is bound to hit. So I mean, come on, might as well just do it. Yo, actually, this is crazy. I always win. He always loses, and we're basically like paired
We're
up.
tying each other together
Now, I
right
guarantee
now.
what's going to happen is 3 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown.
That'll be awesome. Alrighty, Jim, you're up next.
So I'm going to go Sam Laporta anytime touch. No, I'm actually I'm going to say Jared Goff over 233.5. It seems too low. I think what they're thinking is obviously the run game is the engine for the offense. Obviously Jared Goff had a down week last week. Not even down week, just didn't have to score or throw the ball a lot. And the Packers' strength of their defense is their secondary. I don't think that's any mystery.
Right.
Linebackers are Coy Walker's a good player too, but the secondary is really solid. So for that reason, I think this total's way too low. I think people forget that the Lions are very, honestly, unpredictable. They're going to run the ball a lot, but like whenever you think they're going to do one thing in a game, they do almost the opposite half the time. Like against the what do you call it, the Cardinals, I was like, oh, they're going to they're going to toss all over the place. They decided because they didn't run the ball enough against the Buccaneers, we're going to run every single play the whole game. That's happened several times. I feel like Jared Goff is going to, and everyone's thinking, oh, Waymo's out, blah, blah, blah. I like it. I mean, he has to only throw for 235 yards. That's outside the 85-yard game and 1 or 2 stinkers at the beginning of the year. That's just that's
standard performance.
Yeah, that'd be slightly substandard for him. So I like that over to hit with pretty much with ease, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay, so you're taking the Goff overs. We're hitting the Laporta overs. We're thinking a big passing game. George, is that what you're thinking as well, or what?
No, not thinking that at all. I'm happy that they'll pass. I mean, the offense is. I think we're going to do good in the run game and the pass game. That's how it's felt like it's been. We just people.
Is that foreshadowing for your pick?
Certainly foreshadowing. David Montgomery over 55.5.
Ooh.
He didn't hit his over last week.
Oh, he didn't?
The week.
What was his over last week? What was his over last week?
It was the same, 55.5. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Gibbs had a good big game, and I feel like Monty's due for one. And he's healthy. Like he was this past game, like he was a little hurt, had the fumble the game before. Who knows how that affected him in this past game. He's not on the injury report at all now. He's a beast. And, Jahmyr Gibbs' yards were just a little higher. So I was like, it's easier bet taking Monty.
Just a little stat for you guys. Montgomery has missed his last 3 of 4 overs. Bounce back game.
It used to be like a sound that seemed like the sound bet to take each week. It's just Monty over. But like you said.
Yeah, I know, because I've bet on him the last 3 or 4 games.
I know. You thought you had a gimme.
Anytime touchdown would have been a better bet because I feel like he scored a touchdown every game. But what's the standings now, Kane? You're undefeated. Drew's 1-5. What are George and I? I forget.
George is 3-3, and Jim, you are 5-2. The only reason there's a disparity in the totals is because George and Drew missed a week, but they're going to do a double week for we'll call it Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So what are we doing? Are we doing 10 or 15 on the parlay?
15.
15.
We also need Jake come back on at some point to finish up the most average Lions fan.
Yeah. The punishment race has gone by already.
So parlay all 4 of those bets together is plus 575. So that's 15 to win 101.
Let's get it. Yeah. Snip that. We'll post it on the socials so you guys can also hop in, join the crew. I actually know a few degenerate gamblers who live in California who will hammer that. So let's get that up. So last thing to cover. Yeah. We didn't know a few on this podcast, aka you and Drew. Anyways, last thing to cover. What's going to be the score of the game? What are your predictions?
So
what's the line sitting at?
Real quick, the line is 3.5. Last I checked. Lions are 6-1 against the spread so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're also 6-1. But they're 3-0 against the spread on the road.
Ooh, spicy.
And of course, this game is being played in Lambeau with the dirty Packers owners, like Clubba.
I'm gonna look at the weather real quick.
I don't believe in weather. You are a weatherman?
So Sunday is gonna be 55 high and rainy.
Oh, we just took a bunch of passing overs.
Light rain. Ooh. We'll be fine. 55 and light rain. We'll be fine. Oh, shit. Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
All right. So what do you guys think the score of the game is going to be? Let's go in reverse order. George, 3.5.
31-23 Lions.
Ooh, okay. It's good. Jim?
I think we win, but we don't cover the spread. I think we win by a score of 27-24.
I hate that pick, by the way, Jim. I think that Malik Willis is going to play. They're not going to risk Jordan Love. They're going to play Malik Willis. They're going to go into their bye week, give them 2.5, almost 3 weeks of rest. And I think we're going to beat them 35-17.
Ooh.
This is the Packers we're talking about. This is the Titans. This ain't the Titans. Keep that in mind.
Cream pie.
I'm gonna roll with a similar pick as you can. I think it's gonna be the Willis show. I don't think they get a touchdown. They score 9 points. We get 31.
Let's go.
Listen. Last time I picked us against I picked the Vikings to beat us. Last time we went against a division rival on the road. I'm not making the same mistake. It ain't happening.
Let's go.
31-9. They don't get a touchdown.
You're like a drug addict who gets really into religion. You go from one hardcore extreme to the other. From Vikings beating us to 30. Hey, I like it. I'm going to respect it. 22 points. If you're right, I'll kiss you on the cheek.
Jim, you sound like you're speaking from experience on that. But everybody, you heard the player prop bets. Go ahead.
If Malik Willis plays, if Jordan Love, I might be fucked. But
immobile, he'll be out of the game at halftime if he does play. Anyways, you guys heard the player prop bets. Make sure you guys hop on. We're gonna win big money this time. You heard the score of the game. 2 people think it's gonna be close. 2 of us think it's gonna be a smackdown in Green Bay. As always, thank you guys for listening. See you on next week's episode.
Have a great day.